lot of people ask, why was Kilgore chosen for an antenna manufacturing company? And it's quite simple. It's the home of the world's richest acre. Who wouldn't want to be located in the home of the world's richest acre? But in reality, the land was available. Okay. The resources were available, the technology, aluminum, steel, fabrication, welders, the labor force was available right here in Kilgore.
Welcome to Gone to Texas, the official podcast of the Texas Economic Development Connection. On every episode, we share the stories of business owners and CEOs who have relocated or expanded their business into Texas. Our goal is to use these stories as a guide to help others who are ready to hang a sign on the door that says, Gone to Texas. And now, please welcome your host, the Managing Partner and Chief Inspiration Officer for Day One Experts, Super Dave Quinn.
Welcome back to Gone to Texas podcast, powered Day One Experts, where we share real stories of business growth, relocation, and entrepreneurship in the Lone Star State. Today's episode is sponsored by our good friends over at the Kilgore Economic Development Corporation, where they're helping business grow and expand each and every day right here in East Texas.
So, Alan, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Appreciate it.
So, for those who may not be familiar, can you give us some context to what CPI is? What is it you guys do and who you serve, and sort of what role does it play here in the Kilgore area?
Okay, thanks, Dave. The CPI has been in Kilgore for over 50 years. Our product is antennas for satellite communications. Okay. So we build small antennas, the ones that you see on the top of your house or on top of some of the supermarkets, and we build gigantic antennas that you see in some of the movies like Contact and things of that nature.
Okay.
Yeah. So mainly for deep space research and other satellite communication things.
Really, when you're building satellites, this is not a product that just people around Kilgore use. This is something that's really a global product. So again, I think that would surprise a lot of people here in East Texas, that you have a product that is really like, where is your product? Where do you ship your product? Where does it go?
That is one interesting thing about CPI right here in Kilgore, right? The products that we produce go everywhere, all around the world. As a matter of fact, one fun fact is that CPI is the world's largest supplier of antenna systems globally. So our products, reach, not only the U.S. markets, but, Asian markets, over in Europe, Australia, you name it. Anytime that there's a need for communication, our products are part of that communication chain.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So that must be pretty exciting to know that, your employees, knowing that a product they produce right here in East Texas is quite literally around the world.
That's exactly right.
Do you get that from your, that's a pretty nice...
It's a sense of pride for my employees, because we not only serve what I call the commercial market, which is your, TV, internet, and things of that nature, but also our military market. Our soldiers that are fighting on the field, they are using our products for communication that is saving lives, and that has a significant impact. And our employees just have a sense of pride when they make that connection.
Yeah, I would bet that pride runs deep here.
It does, definitely.
So tell us a little bit about how you came to establish here in Kilgore. Again, tell us a little bit of the backstory and how you arrived here, or how CPI arrived here in Kilgore, Texas.
Yeah, so many people, they hear the name CPI, and some don't make the connection, from 50 years ago. The company had a different name.
Okay. So
the company started in the early 70s, around 1972, 73, under the name RMS, which stood for Radio Mechanical Structures.
Okay.
And there was two guys, two engineers. I believe one of them from Texas Tech, and I think the other may have been from A&M. Now, I'm a UT Longhorn myself, so. But they started the company. They were awarded to build some of the structure on a 100-meter antenna system down in called Arecibo. Okay. And they built a facility here in Kilgore. And Kilgore, a lot of people ask, why was Kilgore chosen for an antenna manufacturing company? And it's quite simple. It's the home of the world's richest acre. Who wouldn't want to be located in the home of the world's richest acre? But in reality, the land was available. Okay. The resources were available, the technology, aluminum, steel, fabrication, welders. The labor force was available right here in Kilgore. So they established the company in the early 70s. They sold themselves to a company called Harris in the early 80s. Then they bought themselves back and they called themselves Vertex. And that's the name that people know us from around the world.
Okay.
And they grew extremely large, and they acquired some of their competitors as well. And then we were acquired ourselves by General Dynamics. Then here recently in the past 4 years, we were acquired by CPI.
Okay. So Alan, how long have you been with CPI? Have you seen a lot of that growth and opportunity?
Yes, so I joined when the company was called Vertex
Okay.
almost 30 years ago.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah, I graduated with an electrical engineering degree, and Kilgore at Vertex was my first job as an RF engineer.
Okay.
And so I traveled around the world. I have over 2 million airline miles traveling with the company, and I've really enjoyed myself. And I've moved up, through the ranks. And I'm currently the vice president of SATCOM antenna products, which really covers all the products that produced out of Kilgore, as well as from other facilities as well.
Oh, wow. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about what's allowed them to stay here. I mean, I know you chose great location, you had the talent and some of that stuff, but over 30 years here, what's allowed you to be able to do that? What is the continued investment matrix that you're saying, yeah, we're going to continue to do this?
Well, again, the land is very important, and there is so many expansion opportunities here. So land is plentiful. The labor, the workforce is great in terms of finding the general labor that we need for CNC programming, as well as partnerships that we made with the university that provide that labor. And then in addition to that is the community. We have customers that come from all over the world. We have employees that come from all over the world, and the community accepts, all of these employees and make them feel at home.
Okay.
And that's a big driver, for customers to continue to do business with us. It's very important to us as CPI as a company that we're accepted in the community, and we're very active in the community as well. So.
Well, that's one of the questions, we get. Sometimes people don't understand. I mean, they look at East Texas or smaller rural communities outside of the big metros, and they're worried about that because they are global in nature, and they have people that come in and they don't know. And so it's good to hear from you guys that you're able to have and host people coming in from all over the world and don't have any problems. You're just outside of Dallas. You're not that far, and people are able to get here without any issues. And
our customers look forward to coming to Kilgore. They want country tavern ribs.
It helps when you got a good barbecue place.
Oh, yes,
right?
yes. So it's a great place.
Today's episode is sponsored by our friends at Kilgore Economic Development Corporation. They're helping businesses grow in East Texas. Kilgore, Texas offers an operational advantage few markets can match, where location, labor, and low cost converge to drive profitability. With prime access to transportation routes, plus low taxes and competitive utility rates, companies choosing to locate here are positioned to outperform other corporate locations and competitors. Synergy Park, a Class A campus-style business park, offers scenic, shovel-ready sites, and Kilgore Economic Development Corporation delivers hands-on support, tailored incentives, and a resourceful, experienced workforce. For companies seeking scalable growth without gridlock, Kilgore offers a streamlined environment engineered for enterprise expansion.
So have y'all been able to work with the community over the years, like with EDC or their investment? What has that been like, that partnership with the community?
The EDC has been very, very important to us, and they've been very helpful, especially as we've expanded our operations. We now have more products that we produce, not only antennas, but also the things that go on top of the antennas called radomes. Most people don't know what they are. They look like golf balls.
Okay.
We moved that manufacturing from the company we bought it from all the way to Kilgore.
Okay.
And KEDC has been very helpful, with that expansion project, helping us find labor, helping us with the expansion of land and other resources that we needed. And then, the Kilgore College as well. They've been very helpful. And partnering with us to train up our employees, the new employees, on like I said earlier, the CNC programming, as well as welding capabilities and certifications. The community has been so great. We wouldn't want to be any other place
so
besides here.
You touched on labor. That's also a big question mark when people come to Texas, that they're looking for labor a lot of times. Most companies, where they go anywhere, they're looking for talent. And you touched on that. I think it's surprising the type of professional talent that you need. Skilled labor, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. Talk a little bit about that, because you're not just pulling from Kilgore. You're actually pulling from a much larger region. And have you seen that in your own company, being able to do that?
Yes. So, Kilgore has, great resources, as I mentioned, but also the surrounding area. You have other resources that we pull from in Tyler, Longview, Henderson, where I'm from, is as well.
Okay.
But yeah, we have great community colleges, great technical colleges, universities, and they help provide the resources that we need for our engineers, for all the skilled labor, professional development, program managers, you name it.
Right.
And so the labor is readily available here in East Texas.
And you've been able to work with the different educational, even at the high school level, but on up through the community college and the universities, to design that sort of skill package that you need. You've been able to. It's not just a one and done size for everybody. You've really been able to navigate that.
Yes, we heavily invest in STEM programs, at the high school levels, and multiple high schools around this region as well. Yeah, so we started that, early, and we have internships, so we bring, students in so they can get their hands, exposed to our products and services. So, yeah.
Okay. What's been, over the years, what's the thing that's really just made you like, I'm really glad we're here, right? Is there, can you kind of point to something that just makes it, this is the place we're supposed to be?
Well, for me personally, this is home.
Right.
It takes us home. But from a company viewpoint, there's multiple things. It's not just one thing that says, oh, we're glad that we're here, but it's just the support, that we receive from the various, like we say, EDC, from the city. We receive a lot of support there as well. From our the local restaurants, they help us with events and things of that nature, host our customers. So there's a multiple things that play into that decision that says, hey, we're glad we want to stay here, and we're glad that we're here. It's just a community effort. So it's and we appreciate everything that the community is doing for us.
I think that's so important. We talk about a lot of times we talk about infrastructure being streets, water, sewer, and those sort of things, and labor. But the thing you're touching on is it really is how people make you feel when you're here. Your customers when they show up, your suppliers, and those sort of things, they feel welcomed, and it's hard to put words to it. Yeah. But it is a community effort that says we appreciate what you're doing here, and we're glad you're here, and how do we help you?
And that's very important, for a city to show the appreciation of the companies that invest in that community, and we definitely have that here in Kilgore.
So let's talk a little bit about CPI and what does the future look like? I know you've great history. You've changed over the years. You've increased your products. You've moved some stuff here. What are you most excited about in the next 2 to 3 years for your company?
I am very excited. The advancements in technology and how we're implementing those advancements into our products and services that we have. AI, right? You hear a lot about AI being integrated. We're now starting to integrate AI into our operations. To make us more efficient, to increase our capabilities, improve our quality. And so I'm glad to see those type of improvements, as well as additive manufacturing, 3D printing. So we're utilizing 3D printing, techniques, throughout our facility and throughout our product portfolio. So those are great advancements that we're implementing in our products that gives us new capabilities that we can utilize to reach the new emerging market, for communications.
Okay. Now, you've been here 30 years from the area. Obviously, the community has changed over that time. Mm-hmm. What are some of the changes that you're most excited about that you see on the horizon for Kilgore?
The greatest changes I see is the new businesses that are coming in, right? When you have new businesses, especially high-tech businesses come in, that brings in more people, more resources. That growth is just exciting to see that we have here in Kilgore.
It's fun to be part of the momentum.
Oh, it is.
When you feel that swell of activity and things, it's really fun to be a part of that.
Yes, it is.
So in looking at what your future holds and that sort of thing, and we keep coming back to the talent, are you able to keep up with that? It's moving fast. Are you able to see that with your workforce, and are the local resources able to sort of keep up with you? And how do you work that industry partnership with them to make sure they're not still doing stuff they were doing 30 years ago, but really moving into the future?
It is challenging, right? I mean, like you said, things are progressing extremely fast, right? But, KEDC is, assisting us with partnering with the local colleges and universities, and we have special programs that we've put in place to think ahead, right? and start investing in courses now that's going to impact us in the future.
Okay.
In various technical programs. So I'm excited to see that we're doing things in advance rather than waiting, and that's really having an impact on our workforce as well, keeping them relevant to the current time as well as preparing them for the future.
All right. Well, so I got a really important question for you. I'm going to spend a few days out here exploring Kilgore. If you had one place you needed to go grab lunch, I may give you a lunch and a dinner. That way you don't have to like, I'm going to put you on the spot. It might cost your catering bill double the next time or something, right? But what are the two places that I should go eat while I'm out here?
That is a hard question.
I knew I was going to get a little. I know there's so many great, fine establishments.
There's so many, right? I mean, and it's hard to pick just one, right? But I mean, my go-to places for lunch and things of that nature. I love Jack Ryan's. That's a great spot. Some of the other places, but that's kind of like it's kind of like one of the top things.
Okay.
Our customers love Country Tavern. I love barbecue as well. Country
Tavern.
And we take them there. It's quite often.
Right.
But you can't go wrong in Kilgore. Any restaurant that you pick, it's unique.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing about it. If you have a taste for Italian, there's a great Italian place. You have a taste for Mexican food, both Tex-Mex or authentic. We have all of that available right here in Kilgore. So it makes it a great place for the diversity in lunches and dinners. So.
That's what I love. People want, what I found more and more, it's sort of interesting. I travel all over the country, and communities that have grown, suddenly they're like, we want authentic restaurants. And what I find that's so interesting is that you can go into a place like Kilgore, and I mean, you just turn a corner and there's this authentic place that is a small business owner who just loves and has a passion for whatever the food is, the food style that he's doing. I've loved that about being here in Kilgore right now.
It is. It's a great place.
Well, Alan, so real quick to the audience, our audience is small to medium-sized business owners looking to relocate to Texas. Do you have any words of advice, if for a business owner that's moving into Texas and looking and considering Kilgore? What is a piece of advice you give them about doing business in Texas? Because at the end of the day, that's what they're trying to solve for, is what's business life really like in Texas. So what's something that you might advise them to think about or consider when they're doing that?
Well, as if a new business is coming into Texas, both international or domestic business coming into Texas, one thing that's very important to businesses, right, is cost. I mean, that's really one of the major driving factors. When it comes to small communities, like Kilgore, you have your resources, and the cost of living is not as high as some of the larger, cities. So cost is important, and that can be available in these smaller, type of communities. You'll find that the land is not as expensive. The labor is very reasonable as well. And there's skill set that's sometimes overlooked in these smaller communities. We have these community colleges, and you have the other local universities around. Sometimes some businesses overlook the resources that are available in some of these smaller communities. In addition to that, the other thing is community, right? Community and the being accepted in the community as a business, that's also very important. From the businesses that you go every day to for lunches and things, those things in the community. The schools are also important, and you have safe schools in some of these smaller communities, and those things have great value, not just cost reduction and great value. And one other very important thing, the economic development groups across all the various cities, they're going to help you, right? But after you're in the city and you're established, it's good to have a economic development corporation that will stay with you and support you on everything that you do moving forward. And we have that here in Kilgore. So I'm just grateful that we found that here in Kilgore, and I'm sure companies that want to establish their businesses look at those details, and I'm sure you'll find the same thing as well.
Alan, that is so good. I really appreciate that, and it's great words of wisdom. And when you're talking about the kind of history that you've had through all these different changes in your business, to be able to come back over and over again to KDC and partner with them again and again as you're sort of reinvested and reimagined your business, that is great words of advice, so I appreciate that. Yeah. And I appreciate your time today. I know you've got a lot of stuff. You got global technology things to go and figure out, and yet you stopped by to spend some time with us. I'm grateful for that. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you too, Dave.
Thank you, Alan. And folks, if you want to learn more about Kilgore, be sure to watch the full series at gonetotexaspodcast.com/Kilgore. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Gone to Texas. If you found value in today's show, don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, and subscribe so more business owners can discover what's possible right here in the Lone Star State. And if you're serious about relocating or expanding your business in Texas, stop wasting time guessing. The Texas Economic Development Connection exists to help you connect faster with the people and communities ready to help you grow in the Lone Star State, just like the Kilgore Economic Development Corporation. Don't just admire Texas from a distance. Start building your future today. Visit us at www.texasedconnection.com to set up a call and learn how we can help you move to Texas. I'm your host, Super Dave Quinn, saying bye for now, and until next time, make it a great day.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Gone to Texas, the official podcast of the Texas Economic Development Connection, powered by Day One Experts, a collection of the country's best-known economic development professionals offering on-demand services to communities across the nation.